guys. This is my first YouTube video in probably about like a week and a half. My voice sounds deeper than usual because I just woke up. Or maybe it's because I'm going through like a weird hormonal issue, which I can explain in a minute. The reason why I haven't done any YouTube videos is because me and my girlfriend have been hanging out a lot, and I was gonna do more YouTube videos once she left for Vegas because she's in Vegas right now. And unfortunately, right when she left, I started like freaking out because I was like having some weird issues, like hormonal issues. And like I thought I was pregnant because like I could feel stuff moving around in my stomach, and I was like, how is this possible? Like, it's not possible to have like my stomach looked like I was 6 months pregnant, and my breasts were in a lot of pain. And then recently I go into the hospital after feeling this way because I took a pregnancy test and it turned up negative. So I'm like, there's something that's got to be going on that I'm not aware of. So they took a pregnancy test. They did a bunch of labs, like blood tests and urine tests and all kinds of stuff, and it all came back that I was healthy. So then I'm like, hey guys, like you guys are telling me I'm healthy, but I've got all these symptoms. What's going on? So I go into the Instacare and I'm like, hey guys, I think I need an ultrasound because my stomach is on fire and I wonder if cysts. I had questioned if I had cysts on my ovaries because that's the only thing I could think of that could be causing those symptoms. So they're like, unfortunately, we don't do that here. We usually do it over at the ER. And I'm like, I just got back from the ER, and they're telling me I'm perfectly healthy. And so I told them everything that went on, and they're like, yeah, we still have to send you to the ER. So I go over to the ER, and I'm like, hey guys, I think I need an ultrasound because my uterus and my ovaries are on fire, and I know for a fact I probably have some sort of cyst on them because that's the only thing I could think of that would be causing me to feel like I'm pregnant after doing research on Google. And so which don't do that at home. I'm starting to realize never Google stuff because first things Google told me was pregnancy, cysts on your ovaries, and then this other thing that's like endometriosis. And then there was another one, which I'm about to get into. It turns out the fourth option, which was my pinky, the fourth option is what it was. So I'm about to tell you in a second. So go into the ER, and I'm like, hey guys, like I really need to get like a ultrasound done. So they start out by going on my stomach, and they're looking around, and they can't get a close enough view because I am bloated with gas, which is typically normal with the specific like, I don't know if it's a disorder, but this specific condition that I'm in, that I have, it's actually really a big symptom of the thing that I have that I'm about to explain. And so they go, and instead of doing a topical, which is on your stomach, they had to go in through vaginally, which means they just stick this giant, like, really uncomfortable, like, it looks similar to like a toy, but it's not one. It's actually like, it's got like things in it that helps them look around. So they're looking around and they're like, you have a lot of black marks on your ovaries. And I'm like, okay, great, that's healthy. Because it is. That means there's blood in your ovaries and that they're still functioning. And they're like telling me like all these different facts, like your ovaries look so healthy. And I'm like, oh really? That's surprising because they don't feel healthy. So then they said, we'll take these pictures up to the doctor and we'll have him take a look and we'll get back to you. And I'm like, okay, so then you're telling me my ovaries are healthy, but then you're saying that otherwise. Because if the doctor has to talk, anyways, I got frustrated at that point. So the doctor comes in probably about 10 minutes later, fastest checkup on ovaries I've ever seen, because usually doctors wait like 2 hours. And I know that because I've had multiple ultrasounds done on my ovaries because I've been having pain on them for years. Nobody could diagnose me what it was until like probably about yesterday is actually when I got diagnosed. Turns out the doctor comes in and he says you have polycystic ovarian syndrome, which is PCOS. If you don't know what that is, it's basically like, I don't know what it is. I just know the symptoms make you feel like you're pregnant. I know sometimes it can make it so that you're infertile, depending on how bad you have it. Um, what else do I know? That's all I know about it. I just know about it because my mom has it. And so the doctor looked at me. He's like, you know what that is? I'm like, yeah, my mom has it. And he's like, oh, but here's the part I'm about to get down to that I'm super excited about is people with PCOS, especially women. I don't know if men can get PCOS. I don't think they can because they don't have ovaries actually. But anyways, people who have PCOS actually have more testosterone in their system. I don't know why, but I'm actually really excited about it because then that means I'll have an easier time when I start taking testosterone. After I have kids, because I want to have kids before I take the testosterone, a bunch of other stuff. Anyways, so literally, it's really weird because I've been like having sickness all morning, which is really weird because PCOS doesn't typically like follow everything to a T, but apparently it can mimic morning sickness, which is one of the reasons why I thought I was pregnant. Anyways, sorry, it's hard for me to move because my stomach's bloated. It gives you a lot of gas because your ovaries are in extreme distress, and so it tells your body to like start creating gas for whatever reason. Don't ask me how that works. I wouldn't know. All I know is my stomach is bloated. I feel pregnant, except I'm not pregnant, and I look pregnant, but it's weird. Like I was like sitting there and I was like, guys, I think I gained like 100 pounds in the last 3 to 6 months, and they were like, I don't think that's possible, and I'm like, well, it has to be because I'm ginormous, and so I looked at it, and because I didn't know how long this had been going on for, I just barely noticed it like 2 days ago. So yeah, that's the tea on my ovaries, which is really awkward to think that I'm posting this on YouTube. But the main reason why I wanted to talk about this is just because I'm just so excited because when you're thinking about like being transgender, specifically female to male, it's so nice to have different things that are like horrible. For example, PCOS is horrible, but like it's also nice to have because then if I can treat it properly, then I can go on testosterone and have an easier transition while also making sure I'm taking care of the PCOS as well. Because I recently found out that PCOS makes it so it's harder for you to lose weight. I have been wondering for years why I can't lose weight. Well, there's the reason for it. It's because I have PCOS. And I thought it was just because of the medication I was taking, but I couldn't go off the medication. Turns out everything that's going on in my life does not like to go in my favor because I've been trying to lose weight for years. Like since I was like 15 or 16. I'm 21 now. That's a long time. But I'm learning that if I start like, I could start like eating more healthy stuff because, like for example, blueberries, spinach, any kind of berry basically is actually really good for inflammation. And if you aren't aware, PCOS causes a lot of inflammation. So that's why I'm thinking about switching up my diet because if I can get rid of the inflammation, then maybe it'll help me lose a little bit of weight. Yeah. Surprise. And then I told my grandma about it like last night as soon as I found out I had PCOS when I was at the doctor's, and she goes, "Oh yeah, I got that after my first child." And I'm like, "What?" She goes, "Yeah, they had to take out one of my ovaries." I'm like, "Oh, how did you end up having 4 more kids after they took out your ovaries?" And then on top of that, don't get me wrong, I love my grandma, but how did she have twins on only one ovary? I don't know. She's a miracle worker for sure. Anyways, so yeah. And then on top of that, I've also been struggling to stay asleep for the past week. It's been since Friday of last week, and it's almost Friday of this week. For the first time in like a week, I finally got some sleep last night. I slept all night and clear until like 2 o'clock in the afternoon today. And before that, my eyes were bloodshot and swollen. I looked like I had been smoking way too much stuff, if you know what I mean. But I wasn't. I was just exhausted. And then the funny thing is, did you actually know that when you're in the hospital, if your heart starts to race, sometimes the little machine that's reading your heartbeat stops working and it starts to beep yellow instead of like saying, hey, this person's gonna die? I found that out because I started had an anxiety attack and my heart was racing and the thing started beeping and I was like, but it's beeping really slow. And I realized I threw it off and made it stop reading my blood pressure or heart rate or whatever it is. And that is why I think that they need to get better machines. Because if they weren't able to read that my heart was racing, how are they supposed to read when somebody's having a freaking heart attack? They should be able to read stuff like that. But I think it only reads for when your heart stops beating. But when it beats too fast, that's when you can have a heart attack. It doesn't make any sense. But yeah, and you know what? I actually learned a really cool fact. When was it? Actually, the day that I was like, thinking that I might have been pregnant, because it's possible for women to be pregnant for 6 months and not know that they're pregnant. Some women even go into labor and didn't know they were pregnant. It's actually really freaking weird, but I've heard of it happening. It happened to a lot of my friends growing up. They had like siblings and cousins who ended up like pregnant and didn't know they were pregnant. But it was never any of my close friends, so I didn't know it was a real thing. I just believed it was. So anyways, what happens is 1 in 2,500 people end up being pregnant and not knowing it. And the causes are usually because of PCOS and being overweight, as well as, birth control can help cause that too. If you think you're not pregnant and you're taking birth control, the chances are you could be pregnant and not know it because of the birth control or because of being overweight or because of having PCOS. And I was sitting there thinking, man, I've got like 2 of those things because I didn't know I had PCOS. And I was like, I have been on birth control for the last 4 years and I'm overweight. And then now I know that I have PCOS. I'm like sitting here thinking like, if I do get pregnant, the odds of me not knowing I'm pregnant are gonna be through the roof. So anyways, the crazy thing is the reason why people don't typically know that they're pregnant is because the HCG levels go down based off of PCOS and your weight. So the more PCOS you have, it sometimes doesn't show because it can make your levels of HCG be lower than if you were a normal woman without PCOS. And then being overweight also does the same thing. It makes it so you still have the HCG levels, but they're having a harder time spreading throughout your body because it's harder for your body to recognize that you're pregnant and not just gaining weight. And it's crazy because I learned all of this just from like doing research, and I don't know how much of it's true, but it all makes a lot of sense, so I'd assume that it's true. Yeah, my partner bought me a new shirt, and I love it, but it barely goes around my stomach because of how much weight or bloating I've gone through. Like, I feel like I might stretch out this shirt, but it's adorable. It's like and she got one matching for me, and I got one matching for her, and it's just adorable. Anyways, sorry, I meant to eat breakfast this morning, but I haven't eaten yet because every time I go to eat, I feel like I'm gonna throw up. Because PCOS tends to do that. Anyways, also, I cannot wait for my girlfriend to get back home. Partner. I keep calling them my girlfriend, but they're not girlfriend if they're not like female, so it's kind of hard for me to remember. But they understand when I do call them female or she, her pronouns. They don't really have a problem with it, but I just want to respect their non-binary preferences. Um, so I'm trying. It's just really hard because like they don't always like seem non-binary. Like sometimes they'll, which I guess is the part of being non-binary that I guess I don't understand. Because for example, most of the times they dress like a dude, but then sometimes they dress like a girl, and then other times they don't dress like a specific dude or a girl. They just dress like in the middle, which I guess that makes total perfect sense because they're non-binary. It's just hard for me to comprehend. I guess I would say I'm similar to non-binary, except I'm leaning more towards wanting to be more masculine. But I don't count myself as non-binary specifically because I've never seen myself as being able to just be in the middle. Um, I'm either always wearing dude's clothes or I'm always wearing nothing. What I mean by that is the last week I spent laying in bed with no clothes on because I was either having hot flashes or my clothes did not fit comfortably. For those of you who are pregnant, um, God bless your souls because I don't think I'd be able to handle being pregnant. Even though I'm already thinking about being the one who carries the child because my partner doesn't know if they want to or not. So I'm going to be the one carrying the child, and I mean giving birth and conceiving. However, I hope that's not for another few more months when I actually decide on whether or not I'm going to do it or not. Speaking of which, if anybody knows any information on children, please send it to me because I'm gonna try and find a sperm donor here pretty soon. The problem is I can't find any. It's kind of hard to find sperm donors. So then I might have to go to the doctors and get knocked up. Only problem is that costs a lot of money. So I don't know what else to say. I feel really weird talking about all this stuff. So hello, welcome in. Anyways, I don't exactly know what to say. I've had a rough week, a rough life over Oh, hey, I remember you. It's been so long since I've been on here. I just recently got back on here because my partner wanted to do some videos and I was like, I should go back onto YouTube. So I decided to. How are you? Last I heard, you were not doing too good. So how are you? Are you doing okay? Yeah, I'm doing pretty okay. I had a moment where, oh, that's good. I'm glad you're doing good. I'm doing pretty okay. I had a moment where I thought that I was pregnant and it turns out that I have PCOS, which is a hormonal imbalance with your ovaries, which I don't know how to explain it. You just started 6th grade? That's crazy. Um, I just started nothing grade because I'm out of high school. I want to go back to college, but it's kind of hard because I don't know how to sign up for college, let alone all the ways to pay for it, like FAFSA and stuff like that. I mean, I qualify for all of them. I just don't know how to sign up for them. But yeah. Um, let's see. I'm yeah, I'm currently in a relationship, which is surprise. I haven't been in a relationship in a fat minute, and on top of that, like she they are we're getting pretty serious. I'm having a hard time with wanting to propose to them and then realizing that I can't because I don't know how to propose to them because we've only been together for a month and it's kind of crazy that I want to propose to them, but I can't because they're not ready, and I don't know them well enough to say that I'm ready. I feel ready and I would totally do it. I just don't know how to do it with. I wouldn't know. I honestly would not know. Um, yeah. So, I don't know. And